just to brief you about my story. I was acid attacked 12 days after my wedding, while I was traveling in train from my hometown Varanasi to Delhi to attend my campus placement. Um, uh, it was a jilted man who threw acid on me in an act of vengeance, and that left me uh, scarred for on my face, chest, back, and my hands. The burns were so deep that it took almost more than 6 months to heal, and multiple reconstructive surgeries, which took almost 2 years of my life. During the time of my treatment in the burns ward, where I was for the next 2 years, initially in Safdarjung and then in Chennai, in Shankar Nethralaya and Apollo Hospital, I realized the plight of burn patients. In Safdarjung, which is a government hospital, I saw multiple burn patients coming to the burns ward, screaming in pain, crying in pain every day. And they didn't know what to do. They didn't know whom to approach for help, because burn is something which is very, very, very dangerous. It has high mortality rate, because a lot of the burn patient, they die due to the infection. And I could see that, I could see patients who were less burned than me dying in front of me because of lack of guidance, lack of knowledge, and knowledge for their treatment, and lack of proper support from the family. I was, on the other hand, very fortunate to have support of my family, and to encourage me that I will overcome this, and that I need to eat better. I need to do my physiotherapy in spite of being in so much of pain. My mother was there. My parents were there. My husband was there. My siblings were there to at least help me, even if the relatives were not really supportive. uh, I realized that the support of family is so important in one's recovery. And I could see that just me guiding them and being there with those patients had helped them in their recovery. And it was when then I realized that uh, there should be someone to help them and guide them. And probably God has put me in this turn test to come out and help them, help the other patients who don't have that kind of family support, or who are not that educated to find out the way of treatment in burns. And yes, that's how I started guiding them. And later I started Atijeevan Foundation, which has been able to provide rehabilitation to acid attack and burn patients across the country now. So during my treatment, I traveled to different cities in the country. I traveled to Mumbai, I traveled to Chennai for my treatment. I met a lot of plastic surgeons, burn specialists, and I came to know that they also have this problem that they are not able to provide as much time, give as much time to the patients which is required. At the same time, they were also in need of someone who can intervene and counsel the patients during their time of recovery. because most of the burn ward, the government burns ward, they don't have that kind of support system within the hospital, which can counsel and guide the patient. And there were so many doctors who were in favor of having some sort of group which could help these burn patients in their hospitals. And they were very encouraging to me, because they encouraged me, they called me to counsel their patients, and that's how it all started. They encouraged me to start a foundation, and because they believed in me, and I felt that I need to do this, because it's very easy to overcome your own problems and move on, but I just couldn't uh, uh, see myself moving on, uh, leaving all of them behind, and just not being oblivious about it, that okay, they are the ones who are unfortunate, and I cannot do anything about it, because I could, and I knew that I could. And that's how I started Atijeevan Foundation. And the main focus of Atijeevan was to provide free of cost plastic surgery and reconstructive surgeries to the unfortunate underprivileged patients. Uh, and I think that is the one of the most important step of the rehabilitation, because once the plastic surgeries are very, very expensive, and not all of them could afford it. And a burn patient need multiple reconstructive surgery. It's not one or two or five. That completely depends on the burn the patient has, and it needs multiple reconstructive surgeries. And we were able to provide that with the help and support of individual philanthropists, with the help and support of organizations, other organizations, and especially the doctors and the hospitals, which they didn't took their charges. They never charged us for this, for doing the surgeries, and that's how we were able to do the initial surgeries. Until date, we have been able to do so many surgeries and so many not surgical procedures for the patients. So see, there were people when I told, and there were people in hospitals. I would say there were people, there were patients, there were family members who, when I told that I wanted to do something for the burn patient, they told that it's not possible for you to do. Uh, and it's a very big job, it's a very tough task to get money. And because there's so much of money involved, and how are you going to get the help to help others? That was the biggest question, right? Because I was completely new to the sector. I was like, I had done my apparel management, I was into garment industry, and all of a sudden this happened, and I was like, I was wanting to help people, burn patients. And I didn't know how to whom to approach in terms of getting the monetary help. That was the first challenge. uh, And then definitely the volunteers, the help, the manpower. Where do I get? I want to help someone who is in Delhi. I want to help someone who is in UP in a village. I want to help someone who is in Chennai. And how do I get so much of manpower, and that too without paying them, right? When you don't pay them, they are not obliged to do or complete the task. But yes, I would say there were a couple of people who were supportive, and I think like we were like five girls, who volunteers, I would say, who were with me initial, and till date they are there. And we managed sitting in Bangalore. I could get the surgery done in Lucknow, in Banaras, and in Chennai. And I just managed with the help of volunteers. uh, and yeah, things have been difficult till date. I do face challenges, but I keep traveling a lot from one city to another to get the burn camp done, get the surgeries done, for all sort of work. But yeah, it's part of what I do, part of who I am. And um, yeah, that keeps me going, and that keeps me motivated to keep going. There was no government help at all until date. Uh, uh, Even we are still running here and there to get the compensation for acid attack survivors, which is so very difficult because every state in our country has different law against, and they'll set up a different criteria for getting the compensation which has been declared by the Supreme Court to be given to every acid attack survivor. And I must say that most of the survivors who are male, they haven't got any kind of compensation till date. And there are girls also, because the declaration was retrospective. Most of the girls who have been acid attacked before the judgment have also not received the compensation. So it was like, I won't say there has been any kind of government monetary support. But yes, certain state governments have been really helpful in terms of creating more awareness, regulating the sale of acid, and giving compensation to the acid attack survivors. uh, Funding has always been a problem, because see, any corporate is, especially the MNCs, they are always interested in providing funds for education, child education, for orphanage, for old age, but they are never interested in getting into any kind of medical treatment, right? So we don't have much of corporate support. We started with the help of our friends, our the philanthropist who had faith in me and my friends and volunteers. And I would say that we have done most of the surgeries with the help of philanthropist, and raising funds through small organizations as well. Our main way of the way we function is like, we don't ask people to give money to us. We tell them that you directly pay the hospital fees, whatever the hospital is charging. And we ask the hospital to give us the maximum discount which is possible, and that is only through when we work out the surgery cost, and how we see when the surgeon's charges are waived off, or are at minimum, when the anesthetics charges are waived off. So we have only the consumable charges, and that's how we are able to bring down the surgery cost of every surgery cost. 18 hospitals across the country where we get the surgeries done. We also do have tie up with government hospitals and doctors as well, because there are certain specialists who are only there in government hospitals. These could happen only in those particular hospitals. So you know see, plastic surgery is a very vast area, and every reconstructive surgery is very, very different, and uh, uh, the specialists are there for every reconstructive surgeries. So now we know that if we want to get the ear reconstruction done, who are the best doctors in India? If we want to get rhinoplasty done, who are the best hospitals and doctors in India? And we are in touch with them. We get the surgeries frequently done with them. So we have an understanding that this is going to be the charge, and this is how we are going to bring down the surgery cost of it. And yeah, it all happens with mutual understanding, and I, a will to help these patients. I would like to mention that from day one, yeah, I would not say counseling, because it's like being there, just being there, and supporting them every day, each day, guiding them each day about what is going to come next and how are you going to cope up with that, is what we do. And it is very, very important that not only the patient, the family has to be in the loop and has to be uh, counseled over uh, like every time it is required, uh, because it is them. See, the patient is lying on the bed in the hospital, but the family is there outside, hearing everything, all the taunt, all the I would say, is going through the legal battle, is going through the society stigma. So the family has to be strong enough to face all this, and has to be prepared enough from day one. So it is very, very important to keep the family in loop and help them coping each day, every day, from day one. Yes, it happens. It just happens by we being there from day one. Day one, we know the patient, from the patient get in touch with us, or the patient is attacked. Second thing is, we keep doing workshops, we keep doing close burns group meeting in Bangalore, in Mumbai, in Delhi, and in Chennai. In these four cities, we keep doing these burns meeting, wherein we call all the family members and the patients who have gone through this trauma, and we just spend a day uh, uh, exploring all the opportunities which is available for the patients. It can be livelihood opportunities, job opportunities. It can be how we can correct the appearance, improve the appearance of the scar, how we can do the reconstruction of your nose. So there are doctors doing the sessions during the workshop, explaining what are the expectation one could have from the plastic surgery, because plastic surgery has its own limitation. You cannot get a normal face after you have a 4-degree burns. Doctor explaining all these to the patients. There are people who can make like a cosmetic surgeon and a makeup artist who can make you explain to you how you can improve the appearance of the scars when you are going out, and camouflage your scars with makeup, and when you are going out or attending any function. There are people who will industry people who will explain to you that they still hire people like you, and you are still welcome in their space to work, to find a livelihood. There are we also do skill training during the workshops, to show them that even if you are not able to do a corporate job or a 9 to 5 job, you can still earn something by making handicraft products from your home. You need not have to come out. You can take care of family at the same time. You can earn something, so that you you spend a life of dignity. You uh, head your held high, and when you are coming out and meeting someone, you should not tell that you are dependent on someone for yourself, and you should support your own family. So uh, 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 so these are the things we do during our workshops. And we do have field workers who are acid attack survivors themselves, who keep going and meeting the patients in the cities around. And yeah, that's how we do the counseling. And we also during our burns meeting, we also share success stories, like a survivor who has undergone multiple surgeries and now doing so well in her life, or doing a job, having a family, got married, have children now. So these are the success stories to share during the meeting, so that when others who have just gone through that trauma, they know that life doesn't stop here. I can still do everything what I wanted to do in my life. So my daughters, they have seen me just how I look today, from the time of their birth. And this is how a mother looks like for them. And initially it was not a challenge, because this is how they accepted a mother. And then when they started growing up, they definitely could see that their mother is different from other mothers. But the main challenge started when they started going to school. And there were small kids, who when I used to go to drop them, they used to other kids used to get scared. And they used to cry, scream. And sometimes they used to ask their mothers, is it a ghost? So those were difficult times when I started telling my daughters that I got burnt. But it was time, when my elder one was in first standard, and she saw an article of mine on in a newspaper. And then some of her friends asked her that who threw that corrosive chemical on your mother. And it was that day when I told my daughter that it was an acid attack. And there are people who do uh, nasty things to others, and it is okay. I have recovered, and now I am helping people who are like me, so that they come out and live a successful life. I never told them, I never wanted them to see the world like, it's really bad, and there are people in this world who try to harm each other. I have always put it like, it happens in life. It can be accidental, or it can be deliberately done. But the important thing is how you come out of it, and how you uh, help others in your life is very, very important. And that's how I want my daughters to remember me. And uh, yeah, always look upon in their life also, how to do if something bad happens in their life. For initial 2 years, I never came out of my house. Even if my family was supportive, they never told me not to go out, or something like that. But I still, it was that hesitant that, whenever I used to go to hospital, people used to get scared, or shout, like that, or scream, seeing me. So it was very tough initially. And then when you have lived your life for 23 years as a normal uh, girl, and all of a sudden all your identity is gone, and your own friends are not able to recognize you when you are standing in front of them, it's very, very difficult. And it took 2 years to me to realize all these things and accept myself for what and how I look today. And the moment I accepted myself and embraced for who I am today and what I'm going to become, eh, was the time I I was so confident that to face the world, to face the society. And it is very, very important to accept who you are, embrace who you are, and then move on. It will be very easy for you to move on from that point. And it has been for me, definitely. And I have seen so many patients moving on after they meet other patients and see the success stories, see how they have overcome everything. And I have seen them doing so good in their own life. So definitely accepting yourself is very, very important, and then you need to move on. And for the ones who have been who have undergone these kind of trauma, I would say that your life doesn't stop there. uh, uh, you know uh, uh, Definitely it has happened, and whatever has happened was not in your control. But what you do next is within your control, and that you can control your life and move on, make it more better, make it an example for others, for your children, for your family, for others who are looking up to you to get motivation. And it is very, very important to live a happy life, and you so much deserve that, right? And you need to live a happy life. Don't regret for what happened. You need to move on and find uh, a happiness for yourself. Well, though burn treatment is very, very difficult, but there's something which each one of us can do to help burn patient, which is by pledging to donate your skin. And just like we pledge to donate our other organs, we can also pledge to donate our skin, which is very very important part, and the largest organ in our body. And a single donor can help saving lives of up to 3 burn patients. And there's no match required for skin donation. There's anyone who is 18 years plus and up to 80 years, even if you have wrinkles over your body, you can still donate your skin. And the donated skin actually helps as a temporary skin for the burn patient, and it helps healing much faster the wounds, which say for example, if we go for a tradition with the traditional method of dressing and for healing the wounds, it'll take up to 4 to 5 months for a 4-degree burn to get healed. However, if the skin, donated skin, is given to that wound, is applied to that wound within first 72 hours, it can act as a temporary skin, and the wound of that patient can be healed within 1 month. So it definitely you know helps in healing faster, and rules out the chances of infection and mortality rate in burn patients. So it is very very important, and there's no awareness at all in our country for skin donation. The requirement, comparatively to the requirement, we are only fulfilling only 2% of uh, getting the donated skin. So definitely that will be very very helpful if people can pledge to donate their skin, and it will give a new lease of life to the body.